Hey guys, Cosman here. I wanted to be able to illustrate what I'm talking about with all these different swipes and gestures. Now, just to make it easier for you, we're going to go through this step by step, okay? First, say hello to my lovely wife, Amy, the beauty that she is. Now, take a look. When I talk about something called the four-finger push-up, hang on just a moment, turn this light on. There, a little bit better. When we talk about the four-finger push-up, we want to go ahead and actually detail out what that means. Now watch very closely. It doesn't matter where you put it on the screen, but I'm going to kind of start in the middle here. Push up on the screen. It actually opens up a brand new menu for you to be able to access to do some other things. Watch this. I'm going to tap it again. Just one tap brings it back down. Four fingers. Watch very closely for that bottom part. You see how that opens up? Now what we have are apps that are actually still running. Maybe I don't want those apps running. Maybe they're running just to kind of make a quick access back to those apps, just quick change up. Like, for example, let's say I want to tap on the photo button. I can go right back into my photo albums. Catch that? All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the home button, go back to where we were, okay? But for the purposes of this, I'm just going to show you a little bit of details here. Watch this. Four fingers up. Now, this time, let's say I want to close these apps, because while these apps are running, it's eating up that 10-hour battery that you so love and adore, And at the same time, depending on how many apps you actually have open, it can actually slow your iPad down exponentially. I mean, I've seen people with 75 apps before, and they were wondering why their iPad was running slow. So, now watch, I'm going to show you how to close these, okay? Take one finger, touch one app, hold it down for a moment. These little red minuses come up. You see that? Now we're going to go ahead and close that. Just tap the red minus. See how it just makes that app disappear. And now you've been able to go ahead and clean off a little bit more of your iPad, open up more resources for your iPad to run a little bit more smoothly, and it saves battery power. Now watch as I take my finger and I swipe over. It opens up a brand new menu for me to access. Now I'll explain. First thing you see is that music app. You see volume control. You also see music control. You see brightness control and orientation screen lock. And I'll go through each one of these really quickly. Now, what this means, this app right here, in this right corner, that doesn't necessarily mean that's always going to be that music app that shows. Sometimes it shows the internet, Safari. It just shows where the audio is playing from at that moment, right? So sometimes it's not going to be that. Now this part right here, the volume control, personally, I like to save my buttons on any device I use. If I can do everything on screen, I try to, as much as possible. Less wear and tear on the device, the better it is in the long run for your device, right? Now watch this. We go. Move that up and down. Real nice, right? Very easy, very smooth. Now watch this. You got your play button. You got your forward, you got your back button. That usually just means switching between songs most of the time. Now this one is a very interesting button. This one only appears if you have the Apple TV I mentioned in the hub. Now watch closely. If I tap this, you see it has like an arrow running into the TV. If I tap this, it opens up a whole new menu. Now watch, if I want to send this entire screen, everything I'm doing, no matter what it is, games, photos, I want to show a photo slideshow if I want to watch a movie that I've saved on my iPad. Well, now I have the option to go to the living room Apple TV, tap that, you see where it says mirroring. If I tap mirroring, now it actually appears on my television screen. It's pretty nice. Literally everything I do, swipe for swipe, will appear on my television screen. It's a very nice little control to have. But for right now, I want to leave it on the iPad. Tap. Now, let's go down. You got your brightness control. Watch as I move that up and down. Very nice, right? It brings that brightness. My wife, she lights up my life. Absolutely. See how that works? So we're going to leave it down for now. It works better for this video. Also, we got the orientation lock. Now, what that basically means is if I hit that lock, you see now it has a lock on it, right? Now let's pick up the iPad and turn it. Oh wow, it's not turning when I pick it up, right? When I move it, when I twist it. That's a nice thing to have, especially if you just don't want, like, if you're moving around a little bit, maybe you're reading a book, and you don't want that book to just keep on switching orientation. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit that again, knock that off. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this back down. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. Other few things that we have here, some really nice little quick gestures to make your iPad experience even more fun. Say, for example, I open up, let's see, Safari. Okay. Hey, it's the hub I'm writing. What do you know? First thing, there's Mr. Isaac Newton. Okay, now, remember I had a few more apps open already, right? Now watch. There's a couple quick ways you can do this. You can actually switch from one app to the other quickly instead of having to close this completely. All you got to do is do that four-finger push-up I showed you. You see how it still shows my photos open. Now you can just tap and it swings the screen over to what you want. But let's say I want to go back to that, and I don't want to necessarily do more than one gesture at a time, like the four-finger push-up. Well, watch as I take the four-finger, push across, a swipe across. Now watch very closely. Four fingers. You see how that works? And it just swipes right over to the other screen you had open. Watch, I'll go back the other direction. Four fingers. Swipes right over. It's a really wonderful gesture, and it kind of makes things a little quicker on the multitasking. Now, another aspect that I like personally, and again, it keeps me from having to hit this home button all the time, is the five-finger grab. Now watch. Very closely, all five fingers. Oops, my bad. Just that easily. You just grab the screen, right? Watch, I'll do it again. Open up the app, grab the screen. It just closes everything out, brings you back to the home screen, and it saves you wear and tear on that home button. Now, another thing that I really like is the keyboard break apart, right? Or the break apart keyboard, whichever you like. Now, sometimes when you're holding, and I can't do this really well and show you exactly, but if you have an iPad, you'll figure it out, because I got a camera in my hands. But let's say I'm holding this thing up. And, how many of us have been there? You all of a sudden want to start typing with your thumbs, right? Well, check this out. With my thumbs, but I'm going to just use my regular finger and my thumb here. Watch very closely. I'm going to move, and I'm going to literally break that keyboard apart. Now, I have literally what I would like to call the thumb rest keyboards. Now I can type with my thumbs any way I want, just like a phone, right? Both thumbs from both hands. Watch, I'll bring that keyboard back together. Just that simple. It works with any screen orientation. Now, the last thing I want to show you, and this might require a little more dexterity on my part, is taking a picture of your screen, right? So let's find out what I want to take a picture of. How about, let's go into the, I don't know. Well, let's just take a picture of the main screen. This one is going to require both your home button and, lift the iPad up, your power button on the top, right? Watch very closely. And you won't be able to see this, but just know that I'm pressing these simultaneously. You should hear a camera click. Okay? Alright, did you hear that? Now, let's go take a look at my photos and see if that photo actually ended up in my stream. Oh, there she is. See? Now it looks like the same home photo I was on, but what it did was it took a picture of whatever was on my screen at that moment. Watch, I'll close this out. So it brings me back to home screen. So that ends this video. I hope that helps some people. If you have any questions, if I didn't touch on something that you were concerned about or wanted to know about, just hit me up in messages. Thanks a lot, guys. Cosman signing off.